Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and well, it's that time of year where we look back and think about fondly, or not so fondly, we think about the best of or the worst of in film. And this past year, 2015, as much good as there was just as much bad. Here is my top 10 worst movies of 2015. Let's jump right into it because I feel like we're going to get pretty pissed and angry by the end of this video. At number 10, 50 Shades of Grey. This movie was dumb. How the hype from women, it just goes to show you that when women give us shit about our superhero movies or our geeky movies that are coming out, especially now, and how excited we get about it, at least there's shit going on. At least there's cool special effects and cool action, just cool built-up character stuff going on. This movie, it's like, what are they excited about? People having sex? The whole forced romance between these two characters. And trust me, I'm not just talking about this based on the trailer, but I actually went and saw this fucking movie. One of my good friends, she wanted to see it, so I bit the bullet. And believe me, she owes me big time for having to sit through this. And the thing is, she loved it. She loved it. Plenty of women loved it. Plenty of women, well, here's the one, I guess, advantage if you're a guy and you took a girl to see this. They leave the movie horny as hell. So, there's that, I guess. But is it worth it? Is it worth sitting there for 2 fucking hours? How creepy is this story when you think about it? Some rich billionaire guy who is pretty much getting all of these women because he's rich. He has the money. The way how he pursues women is borderline stalkerish. Once he gets into this whole, let's sign a contract and talk about the levels of sex and bondage we're about to get into, it's creepy. Like, this movie was this close. This guy was this close to being Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. Anyways, number 9, The Transporter Refueled. Yes, this movie, not only is it just a lame, generic action movie with nothing special to it, and it felt like a direct-to-DVD movie that they put into the theater. All of that is true. Big waste of time. But the biggest sin that this movie commits is that it wasn't a reboot to the Transporter series, which is also unnecessary, but at least that would have made sense for why they changed the actor. Jason Statham had made 3 Transporter movies. He was badass in them. So you're going to make one without him? Really? And then the plot of him saving these 3 or 4 prostitutes from this kingpin-like guy. Didn't we just see that in Mad Max this past year, where the hero is saving a bunch of women who were like almost slaves? Sex slave, no less. Number 8, Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension. I know they said that this is the final one, and I pray to God that that's true, because I now am sick of these movies. I liked them at first. I thought they were original at the time, and brought something interesting to the horror genre, but doing one every year, sure, it became a Halloween tradition, post-Saw, but after a while, the fatigue sat in. After a while, you started to realize, okay, these movies are pretty much the same damn thing, the same damn time, over and over again. Not that much creativity, not that much thought put into it. You just kind of sit a camera there for an hour while a chair moves or something falls off of the counter for an hour. And then finally, the last 10 minutes, somebody dies. Fuck you, Paranormal Activity. Number 7, speaking of horror, The Gallows. This too was a movie that I shouldn't say I had high hopes for, but when I saw the trailer, I thought it looked interesting. You know, they were selling it hard on this Charlie character, how he was going to be the new horror icon, just like Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers, where he had his noose, and he hung people, and he had this interesting look to him where he looked like a scarecrow. So I said, well, just based on that alone, I'm sold. I watched the movie, and what is it? It's another found footage, boring, lame fucking movie with terrible acting, with this fucking story that's even more mind-boggling than any Paranormal Activity movie you can think of. So stupid. Characters doing some of the dumbest things, going into rooms when they shouldn't, going back to do something. It's like, I don't care about any of these fucking people. And then the very end of the movie, the way how this movie ends, the big twist, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, I almost don't care enough about spoiling it, but I also don't care enough to talk about it. It's that fucking lame. It's unbelievable. It's bullshit. Up the ass. Number 6, The Seventh Son. Yeah, this is one of those movies that it was supposed to come out, I think, in 2013, and it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And then when I finally saw it, granted, I went to a screening. I'm not really paying for these movies, so it's not like I'm saying I wasted my money, but I wasted my fucking time with some of this bullshit. This movie, too, where you have good actors, Oscar-worthy actors, like Jeff Bridges, who, you would think him being this older, statesman who's gonna, lead the main character, the main kid, guide him through, teach him, train him to be this warrior. But he's such a drunk, such a goofball, such a guy that you can't take seriously. Like, come on. If you're going to make him your Obi-Wan character, don't make him a goofball. Julianne Moore is the villain. Julianne Moore also, she had just won an Oscar, like, right before that. And they released this movie to show that even she is willing to take a paycheck once in a while. You can even tell she was sleepwalking through this movie. Even the effects weren't all that impressive. You could tell it was dated. Boring, lame. I can't do it. I can't do it. Number 5, The Human Centipede 3. The final sequence. So, okay, thank God. A light at the end of the tunnel. This is the last Human Centipede movie, as far as I know. I make no bones about how much I hate the second one. The second one is so bad, it makes me appreciate the first one a little bit more. This third movie isn't as bad as the second one, fine, but it's still pretty fucking bad. But let's do 500 people in the Human Centipede in this prison. Hell, one of them is Debo. I know. Like, damn it, Tom Six. Go make something else. Prove that you're worth something as a writer, as a director. Because this is just stunt level, bullshit. You're just looking for the attention now. Number 4, Mordecai. Johnny Depp has failed this city once again. Sure, maybe Black Mass saved him, because that was a good movie. But his last 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 movies, I don't know, I'm losing track, were shit. It was just, he just couldn't either catch a break, or he just had the worst luck, the worst taste in picking out a script. I don't fucking know. But it was just terrible after terrible, bomb after bomb. It wasn't working. In this movie, this started the year, this was in January, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how unfunny this movie was. It was supposed to be a comedy. This actually had a really good cast, too. It did. Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know how this happens. I don't know how you have actors who have been in the business for 20 plus years and they still fuck up this bad. Number 3, Jupiter Ascending. Speaking of fucking up this bad, the Wachowski siblings, I guess they're now called, they struck gold with The Matrix, clearly. But everything they've done since then, bullshit. But somehow, because of The Matrix, because of how much money The Matrix has made, they get the studios to give them millions of dollars to make each and every one of their movies, and I think each one is getting worse and worse. This film, it's so incoherent. It's such a lazy story. Mila Kunis as the hero. And I like her. I do. But I don't buy her as some goddess, some being who's meant to be the high... fuck that. Channing Tatum as the alien who's supposed to be the big hero. When Eddie Redmayne gives that horrible performance as the villain, where he's all raspy and he's talking like he has to clear his throat or take a shit. I can't tell. Fuck this. Like, what? How does this happen? How does this happen? No more movies, Wachowskis. I'm sorry. No mas. I'm tapping out. Number 2, Fantastic Four. I'm somebody who... I like the original movies, the original ones that Fox made with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and all that, the Tim Story movies. Now, after this new one, I love those movies even more. I'm like, give me more of those, because at least those resembled a comic book. This film was so boring, so drawn out, so just nothing. No life, no energy, no fun, no nothing put into this movie. You could say that Josh Trank, a guy who graced us with Chronicle, should have provided something better. Maybe he wanted to do something more original and was forced upon this whole existing property. I don't know. He shouldn't have taken it. If he really didn't want to stick to what these characters should have been, and I'm not even talking about making Human Torch black. I didn't even mind Michael B. Jordan being Human Torch. It's just he wasn't really even the Human Torch. He was annoying. Miles Teller, so disappointed with what they do with this character. The Thing, I'm even more disappointed with, because when he gives that line of "it's clobbering time," and it sounds awkward as fuck. His voice is not good. Terrible. Victor Von Doom, one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time, who has yet to be done properly in a movie, and this was not it either. How? How do you go from one extreme to another? Fox, give up the rights to the Fantastic Four. You don't deserve them. You obviously can't handle them. You obviously don't know what to do with them. I can't believe that this could happen. I can't believe that nobody behind that studio can sit back and see what Marvel's doing and just copy it. As my number 1 worst movie of 2015. I saw this fairly recent, so that's why my anger is still pretty prevalent, and that's why it might be number 1. The Ridiculous Six. At the end of the day, Fantastic Four maybe, possibly should be number 1, but The Ridiculous Six, it fails on so many levels. It's one of the worst things you can do as a comedy movie. If you're a comedy movie, if that's the genre you're in, if that's what you're going for, is to tell some fucking jokes, then you better damn sure make them funny. You better make me laugh. And if the movie's going to be 2 hours and I'm not going to laugh, then fuck you. What am I doing? What am I doing? And this is a situation where I watch it on Netflix. Anybody can watch it on Netflix. You don't even have to go to the theater. You don't even have to pay extra money to see it. But it was still that bad. The laziest thing Adam Sandler has ever done. Ever. This was terrible. Terrible. And there's nobody else really to blame but Sandler. You fucked up. You fucked up royally. And I just... I'm done. I'm done talking about these movies. Fuck all of them. Hopefully next year it's better. But I doubt it, because there's always shitty movies coming out. Stay tuned. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what do you think of my list. And do you have a top whatever worst of 2015? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!